Hey there, kids. Welcome back to the Mask Fanatic. Thank you so much for joining me once again on this lovely rainy day. Allow me to shake your hand. Yeah, or not. While digging around here in the Mask Fanatic in search of masks, I happened to stumble across, and I do mean stumble, this box of old VHS tapes. Actually, several boxes of old VHS tapes, but this is the one that's in camera range right now, and you can see that's what's in there is old VHS tapes. Well, if you can't see it, take my word for it, that's what's in there is old VHS tapes. We have oh my, lots of relics of the ancient past right here, many of which have to do with masks and mask collecting and monsters and such. So, you know, if you were under the impression that mask collecting was a relatively new phenomenon, well, that's not really true. Mask collecting has been a hobby for many years, and I am one of its many victims, no, sufferers, adherents, yes, proponents, yes, one of its many members, yes, well, I happen to find this old tape here, this old videotape from the late 1980s, I believe, which contains a hard-hitting television documentary of the time about the problem of mask collecting, the ever-growing threat to the nation that was mask collecting in the 1980s. Now, in case you haven't seen that particular TV broadcast over the years, allow me to pour some kerosene in the back of the VHS player, the VCR, so that you can watch the following documentary about mask collecting, which I believe is from, well, it's from sometime back in the 80s, so we'll see how good a condition the tape is in. But here we go. Let's just watch right now.
Oh, shoot, we got in here. Oh, we got, oh, ma'am, could you spare $60 for a Don Post Frankenstein mask? Please, I gotta have one. Oh, please, shoot.
Yes, tonight's 6 7/8 minutes examines an issue of growing concern in today's society, the ever-increasing problem of mask collectors. With the cost of latex monster masks rising steadily every year, many collectors have lost their homes to their addiction and now can't support themselves. What's it like being a starving mask collector? We interviewed some of them.
Well, it all started for me when I got invited to a mask collector's party back in 1976. Some of the guys there were passing around old Don Post catalogs, you know, and wearing Wolfman masks, and well, I just wanted to be part of the group, you know, and at first it's mostly the peer pressure that does it. You just want to be accepted, but then all of a sudden you find yourself craving masks all the time. Well, sometimes I'd wake up in the middle of the night in a cold sweat, and the only way I could get back to sleep was to go downstairs and fill out an order for a new Black Lagoon creature mask and then send it in.
Well, you know, at first you can make do with the comparatively inexpensive stuff like the 800 line, your vinyl skulls and Tor Johnsons, that sort of thing, but then you start to crave the costlier ones, you know, the Caridian aliens and the Timberwolves and Yetis and stuff like that, and well, pretty soon even the Don Post 1100 line isn't enough, and then you start to crave the collector's editions. Of course, that eventually leads to your bankruptcy. I know I haven't been able to afford a new pair of shoes in 8 years. Well, I don't know where I'll be when these wear through, you know.
Well, I realized it gotten out of hand back when I sold the card to buy the Don Post Nosferatu. Then a couple of years after that, just when things were beginning to look up again, the Halloween Society Hunchback came out. Well, that was when we lost the house. Doris and I lived in the saucer man for a while, but when our third child came along, there just wasn't any room in there anymore. That's when I built this shelter. I find that masks with a lot of hair provide the best warmth.
Well, like, when you've collected masks for a long time, like, eventually, I mean, you can't even afford food, like, you know. It gets really lonely out there in those cold nights out there, you know, roasting old masks over a campfire. The Savage Eye masks are probably the best to eat, you know. They're the easiest to digest because they use the most fillers in their latex, you know. But, like, even some of the Distortions Unlimited or like Death Studio masks are kind of okay sometimes if you put enough ketchup on them, you know. And the Césars are pretty good too. They taste sort of like French vanilla ice cream, you know.
Oh, hello. Well, it's an illness, really, a disease. I realised that when I saw a young fellow get killed in a fight over a Van Langdon zombie mask. That's when I joined Masks Anonymous. And now I'm on the road to recovery.
We interviewed mask rights activist Miss Annie Mossity.
You know, you can turn your back on these mask collectors, but you have to feel sorry for the masks themselves. Some of these collectors have been carrying around 40 or 50 masks, exposing them to sunlight, snow, rain, and other harmful elements. And the masks can't take care of themselves, you know. Some of these masks have never known the comfort of having a styrofoam wig head inside, or the safety of having a nice plastic bag over them. That's why we here at Rubber House have opened this shelter for abandoned masks. A mask that has been abandoned or abused or left on a parking meter somewhere can finally find that replacement hair job or get a new paint job. This downpost skull mask was found in downtown LA, where a mask collector had been using it for underwear with his legs stuck out the eye holes here for over a year. But we feel that with the proper treatment, this mask can be restored to a healthy state again, just like hundreds of other masks brought here to Rubber House.
Well, sir, when Elizabeth Sue Ann Louise and I broke up, she unfortunately got custody of the Bride of Frankenstein. Well, when I seen it again a couple of years later, it was in such poor shape I hardly knowed it. Paint coming off, dead flies stuck in its hair and everything. It was terrible. This here mask would have never been the same if it hadn't been for the people over at the Rubber House. They fixed it all up real nice and restored it again, and they even helped pay for my lobotomy.
Well, I was grateful to the people at Rubber House because they let me and my masks stay there for a few weeks, you know. And, of course, it was a little cramped for me since all the beds are just mask-sized, you know. But I remember they sent me to Masks Anonymous, where I joined a special program, you see, designed to help collectors overcome their addiction through negative reinforcement.
Well, you're looking very well this morning, Mr. Suarez. Now, don't you worry about a thing. I'm just going to run down the hall and get that special private nurse for you. So she'll be right along, presently.
Hi, Mr. Suarez. So, you're a mask collector, huh?
Yes?
I don't think that's going to last much longer, Mr. Suarez. Would you like a mask right now?
Yeah, sure.
You would like a mask right now?
No.
You would like a mask?
No.
Not even? A nice E.T. mask from Don Post? It's a pretty good E.T. mask, Mr. Suarez. You want that mask?
I wouldn't mind having one of those.
You wouldn't mind having one? You want him now, Mr. Suarez?
No.
You want the ET
No,
mask?
no, I've already got one. No, no, I've already got one. No, no, it's
Don't
all
want
right.
a mask now?
No, it's all right. Not a very good mask anyway.
No?
No.
Well, maybe we can find you something better, Mr. Suarez. How about a Don Post Wolfman mask from the 60s with a custom paint job and hand-applied human hair? How about that, Mr. Suarez? Would you like this mask?
Oh, yeah, yes.
You want it?
Yeah,
You
yes.
want it?
Yes. Oh.
Well, those treatments there at that center really helped me out. Today I can look at a Don Post limited edition Nosferatu mask for several minutes before I start drooling.
Oh, my. Well, looked like we were having a minor technical difficulty there with the video feed, but I think you got the gist of it, right? I think you got to see the old footage there in reasonably good condition, considering it's vintage, much like me. So until next time, keep the faith, keep collecting masks, and keep showing all the monsters in the world a little love. And I'll be back again next time, and I'll try to dig up something else exciting for you. Thank you for joining me and putting up with me. Now I'm going to go dig something up. Where is that shovel?